If you're deploying many users and need to have a standard or templated setup for them, there are a few ways you can make that happen. You can define what's called a skeleton home folder to include any files, links, or folders that you want users to have in their own space from the beginning. You can also configure the environment system-wide in case you need to provide a certain tool or library in the path, or if you want to modify the shell in some way. We've already seen how to predefine the shell itself and which group new users are added to in the etc adduserconf file. So let's dig into the skeleton home folder and the system-wide environment settings. The skeleton home folder, which the adduser command copies into the home folder of any new user, is located at etc skell. You could put pretty much anything in this folder, but let's create a little text file to welcome our users. My skell folder is empty, so let's add a documents folder. And inside that, we'll create a text file. I'll add some text here. I'll save this and exit. Alright, when I create a new user, this will get copied into their home folder with appropriate permissions for them, and they'll be able to see our message. Let's also explore setting up the environment a little bit for our users. There's a few files where we can do that. In the etc profile script, and in the etc/profile.d folder, where there are scripts that are run by Profile when an interactive shell starts up. In fact, here in etc profile, we can see the definition for when the prompt changes when we're acting as root or a different user. You can make changes here if you want to, but it's generally recommended to make a file in the profile.d folder. And let the script execute it to keep your changes more organized and modular. So let's do that. I'll switch to the profile.d folder, and let's look around. I can see there's a few shell files here, so I'll create a shell file. I'll call it myfile.sh. Let's alias the command L to ls-lh instead of just the regular ls. And I'll save this, and I'll quit. Users can still set their own bashrc or profile settings as well. We've made two changes to the system to see how the skeleton folder and the global environment settings work. So let's create a brand new user and log into it to see those changes take effect. I'll make a user named Mike and go through the process. And I'll use Ctrl-Alt-F3 to switch over to a different terminal. I'll log in with my new user. And let's use that alias to take a look around. I'll type L. And there's the long listing that I'm looking for. I can see that my documents folder made it over here from the skeleton as well. Let's take a look in there. And there's my welcome.txt file with the ownership change to be correct. Let's take a look at the text file. What a polite reminder. That's a basic example, but you can see how powerful this is to be able to pre-populate home folders and to set environment-wide variables.